Welcome to Nothing is OB Golf Podcast, episode number 26. Today I have a special guest. I'm here with a YouTube golf influencer going by the name of Bogey Smalls. I have Jess Perica Jr. How you doing today, Jess?
I'm doing wonderful, buddy. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm super pumped up, really excited. I'm glad my buddy Odie suggested that I get you on the podcast. Now, how well do you know Odie just from social media or anything like that?
Just from social media. But I mean, we've talked numerous times about trying to get together and for me to come down to that Texas heat and play some golf with him. So we've even talked about traveling somewhere, meeting halfway just to get together and golf. We just love the game so much, and have, found a liking for each other, just through Facebook and have some common interests and stuff. So, yeah, man, he's a good guy. Very good guy.
Oh, man, he's an awesome guy. And just like you, I met him through social media. And he reached out to me, and he was just like, hey, come on out here to Golf Club of Texas. That's his home course. And we played a good amount of times there in the past several years. That was one of my first courses that I could say is my home course. But good dude. He's a bringer of all types of people, religions, backgrounds, races. He's brought a lot of people together, and I'm glad he was able to put us together.
Very cool. Nope, I am myself, man. I'm happy to be here.
So you're coming all the way from Detroit, Michigan, all right? Is that correct?
Correct. Just a suburb right outside Fraser, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Maybe about 20, 25 minutes, if that.
So I've been watching some of your films and some of your vlogs that you have on YouTube. I'd say looking at the way you hit the ball and your carries and distances, I say, you know what, man, we're pretty on point. I mean, your short game is a lot better than mine. But I said, you know what, I think we have like club for club, we're about the same. I said, so you know what, I didn't want to have you on the show if you were really whooping my ass, yardage wise.
No. Thank you for the praise of the short game, because to be honest with you, it's probably in my eyes my worst part of my game. So I mean, it's definitely come around, and it's a work in progress. I'll say that.
So tell me, why don't you tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself and your family life?
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan man, born and raised, family man. I come from a, Italian, family. I have a wife. I have two daughters. They are my life. They are my everything. I currently manage a service desk for an IT company here in the Detroit area. I've been doing that. IT has been my background. 17 years now, 18 years. So it's pretty much been my career from, even being young, 41 years old. Into this new realm of golf. But I've had a long road, ahead of me. Definitely a bigger guy. I've always been a bigger guy. Back in 2017, I was at my heaviest weight of about 581 pounds. And I was in the lowest place of my life at that time, thinking that, either I was going to become disabled or that I wasn't going to be here. Growing up, I'd always been a big kid, but I'd always been an athlete. I'd always played sports all through junior high, high school, baseball, big baseball. Never was a golf person at all. It was strictly baseball. And then the story with me was, my heart is football, but my love is baseball. That's how I grew up. Because I wasn't very good at football, but I just, my heart was in it. I really, but my love, and even to this day, baseball is like, my passion. My passion now is obviously golf. But to fast forward to that, in 2017, I'd get some ulcers on my leg, and I never let my weight bother me or put me in a situation where, you know, I never let it bother me or anything like that, or get in the way of anything that I wanted to do. Well, when I got the ulcers on my legs and it put me in the hospital, it actually became where I could see that my body was deteriorating, and that my weight was getting bigger, so much bigger than anything that I could control, or that emotionally and personally, that it got bigger than even myself. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So while I was in the hospital and getting these wounds and everything cleaned, the doctor that was on staff that night suggested the hospital's bariatric program to me. I had looked into bariatric, you know, and surgery and all that, and I had reservations because, you know, there's a lot of talk out there of that's the easy road. You know, that's the, you know, if you can't do it yourself or you don't have the mindset to do it yourself, you know, you're taking the easy road. For anyone that believes that, you can have a side conversation with me, and I will, because the bariatric surgery is the tool, and you still have to do the work.
So for people that don't know what bariatrics is, could you explain that to what some people that might not know? I understand from speaking to you previously, and my mother had a certain type of surgery that's similar to that, but could you explain a little bit of it to us?
Sure. So there's a couple different, you know, surgeries. There's the sleeve surgery, and then there's also Roux-en-Y, which is also referred to as gastric bypass. That's what I had. My wife also had this surgery, and we had it in back-to-back months, to be honest with you. So this has been a journey for both my wife and I. You know, together, combined, we've lost over 350 pounds. So, you know.
That's badass, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. And we did it for our girls. You know, I mean, that was the biggest thing. But to answer your question, so sleeve is where they cut out a portion of your stomach and make a pouch. So think of like a half moon type, and your stomach becomes, you know, smaller. So obviously, but you still have everything intact as far as your intestines and everything like that. So they're basically just taking some of your stomach and they actually take that out of your body. So they remove, they cut, they staple, they take it out of your body. For Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, they cut your stomach to maybe the size of just a little bit bigger of a hard-boiled egg. And then they also take your intestines, they reroute your intestines and connect everything back to there. But I know crazy. It's crazy. It's very crazy. It's scary. It's crazy. However, it was the best decision that I ever could have made. And the only regret, and this is probably a lot, people will say this, is that I never, I should have done it sooner. You know what I mean? But drastic times, you know, drastic measures. You know, I had to do something. But so they do that, and where with the sleeve, they take the stomach out, that they cut out with, you know, Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, that stomach that they've taken away still stays inside of you.
Yeah.
So, but it just restricts obviously the amount of food intake that you have, which was the biggest thing for me, you know, where I was eating, you know, full boxes of pizzas. Now I can have a slice or two and I feel satisfied. So, you know, and you have to still learn. It doesn't 100% deprive you of the foods that you want, but you learn to have a different appreciation with food.
That's the same type of surgery that my mom had. And I think one of the hardest things is being her only son, and it's just me and her growing up, having the doctor come to you and kind of gives you the details of what can go, what's supposed to happen and what can go wrong. And, absolutely, you know, hearing the mortality rate of that, it's I'm not going to say that it's super high, but it's 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 more a percentage than you'd like to hear. And I think for my mom, what it did was it I'm sure it's what it's done for you. It's kind of giving you a new lease on life. If it's
Oh,
giving you the ability to do things with your kids, with your wife, to enjoy life as opposed to it being a struggle.
100%. It's rejuvenated me like you wouldn't believe. At 600 pounds, I couldn't do the things that I can do right now, you know. And I'm still a big boy. If anyone goes and looks at my pictures, watches my videos, I'm still a big boy. But I can get around a lot differently than I could at 600 pounds. And that's the difference. And it's still a struggle to this day. It's still something that I have to work on. I'm not where obviously 100% I want to be at, but I've maintained, and you know I haven't gone back to where I was, and that was we're 2020 and that was 2017. So you know um, it's definitely added years to my life. So.
So, how is the game of golf able to help you reach some of your goals and help keep the weight off, and obviously giving you something else to kind of put your effort and energy to?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously, you know, uh, there is some physical aspect to golf. No matter, some people will say there isn't. There is. Swinging that club. Look, man, uh, I don't know about you, but the last couple weeks of playing golf, even in the state of Michigan, we've had 92, 95, 97 degrees, and with the humidity, oh my God, man, I'm out there. I'm dying. So to sweat and have some fun swinging the club all at the same time, you know, um, it burns calories. You know, it's not excessive working out, but it still has done the trick for me getting out there. It's not my only form of exercise, but it's definitely created a keep me busy type mindset. I'm so involved in it, especially with my YouTube channel, and just wanting to be out there and play the golf simulator in my garage. Um, hey man, taking your mind away from food and doing other things and being active, what's better than that? You
Oh,
know?
you're not lying. There's nothing better. I think, especially in this quarantine time, I'd say the first week, or we were on spring break when you were on the tail end of spring break here in Texas. And my wife and I are teachers, and we're getting ready. We're dreading going back. And then we get the emails and the notifications, and, we hear it on the news and social media about this COVID, how no, you're going to stay home. Everyone's staying home for like a couple more weeks. Well, shoot, my wife and I, hey, it's party time, baby. So we're eating desserts, making margaritas, trying all these different drinks, since it's around the time of Masters, we're trying like a Masters pink azalea drink and nothing but sugars and alcohol. Well, shoot, I threw on about 15 pounds in like 2 weeks. You're a big dude and you've been a big guy a long time. You know what? I come from a Mexican household and we're nothing but short, stocky in our house. And I put on weight like nothing. And so, like you said, golf has been a way to just, and say, I like to board eat a lot. Hey, there ain't nothing to do. Man, I'm a snack. I'm a snack on something. And so that's a great thing, is that golf is able to get your mind elsewhere, and put that energy and that boredom or whatever else to something else.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. And, and it has. I mean, these are crazy times, going on right now. And there's a lot of pressure. I mean, everybody's working from home. Well, if you're at the office, you only have what is available to you, in your office setting. When you're at home, you have anything that's in that cupboard and that pantry. That's all available to you at any point in time, that in your 8-hour workday, before you go to work, and then even after you go to work. So you got to put limitations. You got to put boundaries somehow, and you got to find. You just got to keep yourself busy. That's the. I've learned that in the last couple of years, just growing up, even after having this surgery, is just learning to keep yourself busy. There's a difference of, sitting on the couch and just kind of snacking as opposed to, and I'm missing sports like you wouldn't believe. And I'm so glad that baseball's kind of coming back because I need, I now pace in front of the TV as opposed to just sitting on the couch because I always want to feel like I gotta be moving or doing something. So, I'm so glad, that some normalcy as far as, that I'm getting my baseball back too,
That's true. So being from the Detroit area, are you a Tigers fan?
I am 100% a Tigers fan.
Oh man, I'm a Yanks fan right now. I had to tell my wife. I said, "Look, the TV's right here. Nationals and Yankees are playing right now. My Yanks." And I said, "You got to better turn that crap off." I said, "What the hell am I doing making a Zoom for the same time opening night is?" And I said, "You know what? Hey, there will always be my team, but there might not always be this Nothing Is OB podcast." So tell me, favorite Tiger of all time?
Favorite Tiger of all time. So huge growing up, big time Cecil Fielder fan. Cecil Fielder, and then if you want to go back to like the '84 years when they won the World Series, and this may be a far stretch for someone that will say is their favorite player. I grew up playing first base. That was my position. So Darrell Evans is another, big time Tiger, of mine. So those are probably, but Cecil Fielder was my buddy.
Oh man, I love Cecil Fielder. I love this game. He was a big boy too, so I'm sure that's maybe another reason why you liked him.
Yep. And then we got Prince later on, and that didn't turn out so well.
Yeah, but and it was nice. It was nice that he was there, and it sucked that his hey, he made his way to Texas. It sucked that injuries took him out. But I thought, I thought his dad taught him well, and he was a good representation of his family, and I thought he was a good ball player, and I hate that injuries cut him short.
Absolutely, man. The thing with the neck with him, just it's sad. It's sad when you have the talent like he did, and it's something like that takes the game away from you.
So one of my favorite sports movies was For the Love of the Game. Now tell me, did you like that game? I mean, hey, it was about the Tigers.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. There's the other one where with the Magnum PI, Tom Selleck.
Oh yeah, Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, where he's the coach.
Yeah, he skipped.
The chief. I think
the chief. There you go, chief. There it is. Yeah. It was on the other day. I actually saw it the other day.
He got to wear his tiger hat again, just in that, because even in Magnum PI, he wore the tiger hat.
Damn. Oh, hey, mine is blown right there. I totally forgot. That's right. I totally forgot he rocked that Detroit hat. All right, so tell me what led you to the game of golf, and what would you say your golf testimony is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, back when I was like 18, 19, my buddies wanted me to play golf with them, and I was more in my baseball mode at that point. And golf, I didn't like golf. I mean, I at least attempted back then. I bought Cleveland TA5s for anybody out there that knows. And I thought that I would, like where you try to buy all the right things and you try to do it right, and you think, you want to make people think you know what you're doing. Oh my God. But never took a lesson or anything like that. Just tried to go out there with my friends because it was something that they were doing, and that, and I wanted to be a part of that. I couldn't hang with them. I was really bad, and I gave it up. And, come to 2017, so I had after my surgery, funny as it may be, once again, my friends are like, oh, maybe this will, be able to spark you, come out and do golf. Cause I was looking for something. I had this vision of, with losing the weight, I want to go back to doing something, having something that, sports wise or activity wise that I can do. I mean, yeah, you can go out and you can shoot hoops. Can't really play football unless you got other people to play football with. as far as baseball, I could sign up for co-ed and do the whole, softball co-ed, or even find a softball team, to play on, something like that. But funny as it may be, I'm sitting there for a month, time off, recouping, and I started watching golf, and I started just really I'm thinking to myself, man, this is I'm looking for something that I want to do. Can I do it by myself? You can go out and golf by yourself. It can take out some aggression, hitting some balls sometimes, but I also looked at it as this was something that I couldn't do before. My buddies want me to come out. I want to be with my buddies. I want a challenge. I want something that challenges me. I want to know that I can, accomplish something. And the game of golf gave me the opportunity to, get back into something and have a passion for and a liking, but also that would always continue to challenge me. And that was the biggest intriguing part of it. That was the biggest gravity pull, was that no matter how good or bad I get at this game, it's going to be the challenge that's going to be part of it. It's not going to come. It's not going to come easy for me. Nothing about it is going to be easy for me. Especially being a bigger guy. I mean, as the weight was coming off, my swing changed probably 5 times, just because of my stomach area getting smaller, in different times. It was just weird. And even going back and looking at progressions of video and everything like that, and taking video of my swing and just seeing how different, that went. But it's just a challenge. And golf has opened me up to so many different opportunities. Classic example is us right now, just meeting new people, you know what I mean? And having connections with new people. Golf has created opportunity for me, and I wouldn't change that for anything.
I totally agree with you there. You're on one side. You're a bigger, larger guy. Me, I am a short, stocky guy, and so I'm sure we get several different looks when we head to the course. And so as you can see right here, I got tons of golf shoes right here behind me. I'm a golf shoe nut. I'd rock a lot of different types of Nikes, and my thought process has always been, and even as a coach, look good, feel good, play good. And hey, more than likely, I'm not going to play good, but you know what? At least I looked good doing it, And so, I'll go ahead.
No, it's funny that you say that, because I'm a huge, and I know you already know this, we talked about it, but I'm a huge Callaway guy. But there's being the big guy. There's a couple YouTubers out there that are big guys, just like myself. And that have been an influence and inspiration in me wanting to create my channel. But the coolest thing about it is there's a guy out there, Fat Guy Golf, very, very good golf channel. And John Baker is his name. And the guy is great. He's an inspiration. But he put himself out there being a big guy, even bigger than I am. And it's made me feel comfortable. He made me feel comfortable about going to the golf course, where it didn't matter to me. And also, I will be honest with you, having the surgery and losing the weight also built self-confidence in myself, where a lot of the stigma of stereotypes and what might have been coming in and what people might have thought about me, I'll be honest with you, losing weight, it for someone who's been big all their life, it gives you a lot more confidence. You even feel better about yourself. But going back to me talking about being a Callaway guy, there's so many times where I go out on the golf course now, and I've been told, and not in a negative way, but for for being that big guy, man, you really dress, you really present well, and it's all, I mean, I wear head to toe Callaway, Callaway stuff,
Oh man,
it's just,
you're a Callaway snob. That's what you're trying to tell me, right?
hey, I appreciate them where other golf companies fall short. And I'm going to say this, and it's not the main reason why I've gravitated towards Callaway, but I will say this: where other golf companies don't have a big and tall presence, Callaway does, and that to me means a lot. I mean, it means that think about, I was the kid growing up where I wanted the, if you want to say, name brand stuff, or that type of thing. And not that I came from a family that could afford those things, or anything like that, but what's worse of A, not being able to afford it, but B, never being able to get it even if you could afford it, because nothing that they have will fit you. You know what I mean? So to be able to play the clubs that I play, which is, I have a Callaway bag from head to toe. Every single club in my bag is Callaway. And then to be able to wear and sport Callaway as, I'm team Callaway and I wear Callaway. That's my, that the company has rejuvenated me. It's given me when you're confident, you're confident. Confidence will also make you play better. And I feel confident wearing Callaway and going out on the course and representing Callaway to its fullest.
They're a great product. I have the Epic Flash driver right now. I'm trying to make my way to the Maverick, but you know how it is. Once you find something that works, why try to fix something that ain't broke? And
Absolutely.
And Absolutely. And so I'm a firm believer in their products. I truly am. They're a great company. And the previous guest I had on the show, Chris Dingman, he's a South Texas Callaway golf fitter, and he has, he's like a putter whore. He has all the different types of dang Callaway putters. He's got the top, exactly, if you could dream up a Callaway set, he's got it in his damn bag. And I'm like, you freaking jerk. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey or something. You know what I mean? And so it's nice to hear that Callaway is a good company. And then even one of my other guests, Carlos Brown, who's represented him for a good while, it seems like they're a great company that not only make great products, but they have great communication skills. They have great people at the forefront. And I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Huge goal of mine is to one day become, a Callaway staffer of some sort. I want that Callaway. I want that Callaway bag with my name on it.
But hey, I think we all do, man.
And I want it because I want it. I want to earn it. I don't want to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. It's so much sweeter when someone gifts it to you as opposed to you purchasing it.
Yeah, and not because I want free stuff, but like I said, because because I earned it, and because it's a passion, and you put in work, you do work, and people reward you. So.
Well, I am as well. That's what drew me to you, is watching some of your videos. I see your logo in the background right now. This is actually going to be one of my first podcasts that I put as a video, as a VPod or vlog. And so I'm really excited. Everything I've done on this podcast, I've self-taught from YouTube and anything like that. And I'm 40 years old. I am not tech savvy. Once I started dating my wife, she got me into Apple products. And I was just like, wow, they're the easiest products to use. And for me. And so I'm super excited because you got your logo in the background. So tell me, what led you to coming up with the name? I know you're into rap. How'd you come up with the name Bogey Smalls?
Okay, so this is gonna be funny. So, obviously, my favorite rapper is Notorious Big. Um, there's a golf company called Send It Golf, and they have a towel, and they came up with there's a notorious big picture. It's one of the last photos that was ever taken of him, and he's got
Uh-oh. What are you bringing from the rafters? What are you bringing down?
he's got the crown. If you've seen that picture, you know
Yeah,
exactly what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
exactly what you're talking about.
That regal type, crown, and they made like a towel of that, and I was like, man, and it's funny because even some of my friends would call me Bogey Smalls, like one of my nicknames previous. I used to go by, if you know the rapper Too Short as well. I used to go by Too Big is what one of my nicknames was, junior high, high school. But then it turned into when I started doing the golf thing, it was like, oh, Bogey Smalls, because like Biggie Smalls, so put that together because my favorite rapper, whatever. So I had that going, and that's just, I had my Instagram as that. Well, it wasn't until that I got onto YouTube and started doing my my YouTube channel, I started getting all of these people, there's already another, Bogey Smalls out there. There's already another Bogey Smalls. And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about, but I want to know about them. And there's another YouTube guys out there. They're the greatest, man. I love these guys. But the Bogey brothers.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, they go by, Two Putt Shakur and Bogey Smalls.
Yeah.
Well, even them, I mean, they're great guys. We support each other, and they've even like, you're just a brother from another mother,
Oh, so there's no feud? There's no feud? Oh man, come on. That's part of being Bogey Smalls.
The funny thing is, I know I'm not from New York or anything like that, but the funny thing is they're from California. I'm, if you want to call Midwest.
East Coast, West Coast.
I'm the East. He can be the West Coast Bogey Smalls, and I'm the East Coast Bogey Smalls. So.
All right. Favorite song from Notorious B.I.G.?
Unbelievable.
Oh man.
Unbelievable.
I actually saw his movie just recently. I'd say about a couple of days ago. I thought that was a pretty badass movie, if I may say.
They did it right. They did it right. I mean, I think there was a lot that they left out, which obviously, but yeah, I mean, Hollywood's Hollywood, and it's hard to portray, obviously, someone who's gone and you're only getting the story from other individuals. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So he wasn't. That's the one thing that you kind of could ever wish for is that he would have had a chance to like tell his own story. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I guess he did. I guess he did through his music and all that type of. But so.
No, I do think there's several different sides that you could take, especially in a movie like that. And Tupac's movie went one way, and obviously Biggie's went the other. But I thought the actors did a great job of portraying each individual, and I thought the guy who played Notorious B.I.G., man, I thought the way he had the slur and the way he'd rapped. I said, damn. I said, man, he brought up all those feelings that you got when Biggie came onto the stage. Or when you pop that Ready to Die album on, and so I thought the other day, and I was just like, man, this is it. This is a sign. Bogey Smalls is supposed to be on the pod.
Hey, well, I appreciate it, man.
Now tell me, what were some of the biggest things and biggest hurdles that you had to deal with in transitioning into golf? Because like you stated earlier, you needed just something else. And the way I look at it in the game of golf for me and through my eyes is that I have a competitive itch in me that it needs to be scratched. And just like you stated earlier, you have to challenge yourself. And I don't think there's a greater game or greater sport than golf that messes with you physically, messes with you mentally. And what were some of the biggest things that you had to go through in making this transition to a new game that you hadn't picked up in many years?
I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know, you know, very, I mean, I didn't know what equipment to buy. I didn't know, uh, I didn't know golf etiquette. Um, I didn't know, uh, I mean, I knew par and eagle, albatross. I mean, I knew that part of the game. It wasn't dumb in that part, but actually going, like, it took me a few couple of times to like go out with my buddies and even understand that, you know, not to walk in their line, like, not to, stand behind them, creating shadow, just golf etiquette as a whole. Uh, I mean, I was completely foreign to that type of thing. Um, the learning how to swing, understanding what a swing path was, understanding why I was hitting the ball a certain way, um, understanding that I'm topping because I will use baseball analogies a lot because that was my sport, and so I try to familiarize myself the same way that I did with learning, the game of baseball. So yes, I've adapted and I've picked up. Man, there's so much stuff. The biggest hurdle for me right now is reading greens. I am terrible at it. It's the worst thing, for me. Um, and I don't putt completely horrible, but get me on a nice course that's got, a lot of breaks, to a green, and I'm completely lost, but the challenge for me has really been just um, adapting to the different swings that I've had. I have a very over the top, and I had a very natural pull hook in everything that I do. So I had to really work a lot and work very hard on that. If you look at my Instagram, I just posted a picture of my epic flash that I have as well.
I saw it. I
And
saw the fade.
my fade is all
Yeah.
the way up to the top.
I'm gonna
And
tell
that
you.
it plays for me. That's just how it plays.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. You posted that picture, and I saw it yesterday, and I was just like, "Damn." So I'm over here, and I'm looking. I'm over here like I was like this. I was just like, man, should I raise mine a lot more up? I mean, man, you mess with me, dude. You
Oh,
mess with me. And so I was like, no, you know what?
no,
You know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone.
you
But
should
I saw that, dude.
do what's working for you right now, because I figured, hey man, me and my buddy were out playing, and I'm like, I was on a real good streak of like hitting the ball straight, and about, I was hitting like 60% of my fairways for that day, and I'm like, man, I mean, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Well, I thought I'm gonna go and adjust my driver a little bit. I put it like how you have it. I put it down a little bit, I'm going to take some fade off and see if I can edge down and, kind of figure out, oh, dude, it got in my head, number one.
Uh-huh.
The first shot after doing that, it went right back to the same, pole hook again. And I'm like, okay, I got to put that fade back on because that's what straightens everything out for me.
Yeah, that weight. Yeah, that for me is I used to fade, or I say fade, but it was slice a lot, and now I put it heavy on that draw, and that kind of balances me out. So since we're getting into epics and the epic flash and drivers, what's in your bag right now?
Absolutely. So I played the Epic Flash Sub-Zero driver, which is kind of odd because I don't have that particular club in the Sub-Zero is graded for people that have a very fast, swing speed.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to, or it's for them. Yes.
I do not. However, the spin factor for me using that club, and I've taken it and gotten it, fitted, for myself. Um, they actually recommended that one more than just the regular Sub-Zero, just so that because it would take less spin off the ball and kind of help me as opposed to it even though my swing speed is a lot, slower than, your tour pros, or even the, scratch type, golfers, the ones that, swing it, 100 miles per hour. That's not me, As far as irons, I play the Callaway Rogues. My wedges are all Callaway MD3s, and I play a 52, a 48, a 52, a 56, and a 60.
Damn, you got 4 wedges in the bag?
4 wedges in the bag.
Well,
all for different.
Yeah.
All for different. And that's as of recent. And then my favorite club in the bag right now, I used to have a Callaway, just 3, just a fairway one. It was one of those clubs where you got it in the bag, but you never want to take it out. And I swapped it out for a 3 hybrid. Oh my God, I am in love.
I'm in love with my 3 hybrid. It's amazing.
There's some, I sometimes would rather hit that off the tee than my driver.
I know what you mean. If okay, it's like I need one in the fairway, down the middle. There's trouble to the right, trouble to the left. I'm pulling out my damn, and it's a old hybrid too. It's a X Hot 3 hybrid.
Okay.
I won it in a golf tournament, and like, if I'm gonna go down swinging, if God came down this day and said, you know what, if you hit the damn ball in the fairway, you're going to heaven, or if not, you're going to hell. I say, you know what, I am pulling out this this 3 hybrid, and I'm hitting it all day.
And it's a Callaway Rogue 3 hybrid. I swapped it out. I traded in the fairway wood. I got that. I was like, okay, this is something new. This is fresh. And even just the approach when you lay the club down to the ball, it feels different. It looks different. And man, can I hit that thing? And I absolutely love it. Just the other day, playing a par 5, it was like a 600-yard par 5. I only hit my driver maybe 220, 230 off the tee. And then I pulled out the 3, and it's in my latest video. Me and my buddy look at each other because I hit the 3 hybrid on the second shot, and I was on the green.
Oh, crap.
And I'm like, I don't know how I flew this thing carried to 250, and let alone it had 30 yards of roll.
Oh, damn. That's nice.
So
That's a nice club.
I got a hold of one. It's not going to happen all the time, but it's that I have a lot of confidence in hitting that club. And then my putter is just a Toulon, San Diego style putter. You can kind of compare it to a Scotty Cameron type. I mean, it's a milled, putter.
Yeah.
The feel off of it is just unbelievable. I really like that. I really like that putter. And then as far as balls, it's the only thing. And Callaway, don't get mad at me, but I don't play a Callaway ball. I play Vice.
Oh, man, good
Vice
ball.
And it does everything that I used to play the Pro V1s, but I can't afford, Pro V1s all the time. I was trying to find something comparable, as best as possible that, was a little bit less on the checkbook. And that's when, someone suggested Vice, Pro Plus balls. They said, if you're playing, I played the Pro V1 X's, and they check well for me. The spin is great. And I actually probably, if you go back and look at my numbers, average wise, I've probably like 10 to 12 yards I've gotten off of my driver just by switching to that ball. And I equate that to a little bit of golf. For everyone out there, if you guys, I know this is a podcast, you guys can't see me, but I'm pointing to my head as if to let you know, a lot of golf is all in the head as well. It's physical, it's physical ability and everything, but a lot is mental. A lot is smart golf can improve your scores like you wouldn't believe. When you think you can go for everything and you think you're 10 cup and you think you're, you know, that's where you're and you get yourself in trouble. So
I totally agree. I hate hearing one of the phrases out there. Oh, you got to take your medicine, and I'm like, bullshit. I hate hearing that damn term. I was like, no, I hate medicine. Medicine sucks. No, hell no, I ain't taking no damn medicine. Well, in golf balls, I ordered like, I'd say like 30 cases of, or 30 15 dozen. I ordered 15 dozen balls from Cut Golf Ball Company, right?
okay.
And I thought they were freaking awesome, right? And plus, it's better as I hand them out for promotions and stuff like that, or give them out. It's better than giving somebody like a Nitro or a Wilson staff, or a Noodle golf ball, and it's around the same price range, right? People are like, "Oh, damn, this is badass. I've never heard of this company." I'm like, "Great golf ball, right?" Well, I reach out to them, and they're constantly sending me updates. Hey, can we order you any more golf balls? Order any more logo golf balls? Because I put my logo on them. And I said, hey, I'd like to see if I can be an ambassador, if there's anything I can do for the company, because I really believe in the product. Well, nobody got back to me like at all. Like just said, I spent over like $400 or $500 through your company. Like, I mean, you can't just reply, after several emails. And so I said, you know what, Vice, I sent an email to Vice. They replied back to me, and I'm thinking about looking at Snell, because Snell seems like it's a pretty good company as well. And so I'm going to try to do some logo balls through them. And just because, again, it's not your normal everyday household names. And I still think they make a great ball for guys like us.
Absolutely. Yep. And it is. And a lot of us all want to try different balls, and you want to, but I'm stuck on my one ball now, and that is Vice. Main reason, and as just because it's built confidence, is my biggest golf goal to date is breaking 90. And
I saw that.
I broke 90 with my Vice ball. So that holds a special, place for me right now. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to continue getting better with that same ball. And I believe that there's something about that for someone who doesn't go round to round, or, playing different balls. Learn your game with the same ball all the time.
I totally agree there. Normally I play whatever I find in the damn woods. And so that's why I give all my golf balls.
I was that way at one time too.
That's how I give all my golf balls to my buddies, because I said, hey guys, I need free advertisement. So you know what? I know those jerks, they're going to lose the damn balls all over the place. So I'm like, hey, thank you guys. Give me some free advertisement. Well, now going into your game of golf, what is one thing that you really think has improved your game? Because watching some of your vlogs, I know you're like, hey, trying to break 90. Now you're trying to break in 85. So what are some of the things that you've done to improve your performance out there on the course?
Well, quarantine actually helped me. It actually helped me because I didn't think I was going to be able to go out and golf. So I bought I bought a golf simulator, and I put it in the garage. There's nothing better than being able to just walk out to your garage and swing the club, and just getting the repetition in, getting those strokes in, and kind of seeing with the golf simulator what your swing path is doing, and the change, and understanding what the ball does off of your different swing paths, and closed club face, open club face, if you're hitting it off the toe, so that gave me a lot of learning, that part of my game. But just I grew up as far as playing smart golf. I used to just go out there and just kind of, grip it and, just, I mean,
Grip it and rip it.
yeah. And even with the irons and everything and thinking that I could, do things that I couldn't do, or that, I'm a big boy and I got a lot of power. I can muscle this here. I can muscle that there. Course management, I've taken that as a big, I really watched a lot of like golf and YouTube videos, and just one gentleman, golf sidekick, great channel. And he does a lot on breaking, different scores, and watching him and just his view on different course management and why you might do this in this situation, you might do that in that situation. Also, another guy is Mr. Short Game, and Matt Fisher from Mr. Short Game. His channel has helped me big time with learning the short game aspects of the game. So there's a lot said for, YouTube and, golf influencers on YouTube and providing quality content to actually, to help. And playing more. Playing more has been the absolute thing that has, and not just practicing, going to the range, but playing actual golf has improved me big time. I know it has. This season alone, like a lot of things jumped and changed for me. I went from being a 25, handicap, 26 handicap. Now I'm 18 and a half, and getting better. So, that's where, and I contribute a lot of that to just playing more. And then obviously, practice is also important too. But planned practice, smart practice. Like what I'm not just don't go to the range and hit the driver to try to hit it, 300 yards. But going to the range or coming into, the garage and doing the golf simulator and actually pretending different scenarios of the game, so like going to the range and mentally playing holes at a golf course, so hitting the driver, seeing where the ball goes. If the ball went a little bit left or whatever, and thinking about, okay, now I'm playing a 400-yard hole. This is what I would do, and take that club out of the bag and hit that next, and do those types of things. More scenario-based practice than just hitting the clubs to see how far they go. But repetition as well. So I practice more now in like I'm game situations. Like I'm a pitcher or a hitter. Like I would say, I'll always kind of bring baseball, into it. And that's just because I'm, me growing up playing the game of baseball, where, I'm doing that with I'm preparing my mound session like a pitcher would, and that aspect of it.
So it seems like your preparation, mental preparation as well, has been totally beneficial for your game of chopping down that handicap. Now, in watching several of your blogs, I see, breaking 90. Now it's, hey, trying to break 85. Your big drives, bombs, floppy smalls. So what's next on this YouTube channel? What's next?
That's a very good question. Very good question. What's next? I just, this may sound selfish, but I just want it to grow. I want more people to, I want more people to like hear my story. I feel like, for selfish reasons, even for myself, I got a lot to share and a lot to offer people that may have ever been in the same situation as me. Maybe there's just like John Baker from Fat Guy Golf did for me to make me comfortable with making a YouTube channel and putting myself out there and doing the game of golf, maybe I can be that John Baker for somebody else, you know? And that's the message that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, yes, incorporate my weight loss with my golf game, but it's really just, I've really found that it's really just about opportunity now. Golf has created a lot of opportunity, a lot of different friendships, new people. There's been a lot of times where I've gone and, you know, where just because I wanted to get golf in, I went and golfed by myself. But obviously, you know, sometimes when you're golfing by yourself, your game speeds up and you catch up with people. And there's sometimes going to be some people that don't want you playing with them at all. And then there's going to be others, hey, do you want to play ahead? Or, hey, do you want to play with us? There's been numerous times now where I've paired up with individuals, you know, out on the course and have had some very awesome conversations and them asking and me getting the opportunity to share my story. Just like with you and like with Odie and just, you know, my connection, you know, with you now, being able to this, I love this because it's able to share my story. I'm able to talk about, you know, my story. And I think that's awesome.
There's nothing wrong and there's nothing selfish about what you're trying to do with your YouTube channel. I think just like I said, in trying to do some research about you and looking at your channel and what your channel's about, your trailer and a lot of your vlogs, and just speaking with you on the phone and now in this podcast, I see that you want to do what I'm trying to do. Is you're just trying to you're trying to be that light. You're just trying to be that influence for somebody else that others have done for you.
100%. Yeah.
I like to think, especially here in San Antonio or in South Texas, I think there's a lot of good golf and there's a lot of good influencers, like you said, on the YouTube side. And what I'm trying to do for just people on the social media side and in Texas is just really trying to shed light on people like you and good programs that are out there, because I think there's obviously there's a lot of influencers in this game of golf that we're probably never going to know about everybody. But I think if everybody just kind of does just a little bit to grow this game, I think the possibilities are endless. And like you stated, being on the course, you learn a lot about yourself in interacting with other type of personalities, what this game does. And you understand, like I always say, is like, oh, is this kind of like, you know, you're going to be, I call it bitch golf. You're going to be a bitch and make me put it out. You're going to give me golf. You're going to use that foot wedge. You're going to take a mulligan. You're going to play a mulligan golf. You learn a lot about somebody spending several hours in a round with them. And also, you get a chance for somebody to see really your true self.
Yeah. And you're going to have a bad day out on the course, but to spend that bad time with individuals or even your friends, at the end of the day, it can make up for it because as you just said, you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself than you did, 3.5, 4 hours ago. You know what I mean? So
I totally agree. And that's why I do this podcast, because I do it for the feels that I'm getting right now, man. I shed a freaking little tear here a little while ago because man, everyone's got a story, and man, that's what I'm trying to do, is just put these stories out. So tell me, with all these feels that we're getting into right now, what's your best golf memory that you've had on the course so far?
The best golf memory out on the course. I would say, recently, I want to break that 85. So when I broke 89, I was by myself, and it was a really good, really good feeling. It was by myself. So only I got to experience that. You know what I mean? So now I want to break that and get even better. But I want I want to share that experience, with others. But the most recent feeling is I still am ecstatic about this. You'll see it if you go and you watch my video of when I hit the green, in 2 on that shot, because I never ever would have, thought that I could accomplish that. And so that was a huge accomplishment for me, and a memory that I have stuck in my in my head right now. And then just meeting people. I mean, that it's golf is a little weird in the fact that you can you can connect with a stranger and get paired up with a stranger right from the beginning, right from the get-go, and play with them and feel like you've been friends forever.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
And it was never like they were when you left you finished the 18th hole, and I know everything with COVID or whatever, but you give an elbow tap now, or you give a fist bump or whatever, or a virtual high five. It's a very different feeling, walking away than when you first started, because it's not necessarily like they're a stranger. So for what it's worth, I mean, those are the memories that I keep. It's yes, the game, but it's also the individuals that, the memories are also built with the individuals that I'm with at the time that I'm playing as well.
All right. Now a little bit on the lighter side. Favorite golf movie?
Favorite golf movie? Has to be probably.
You're thinking, man. I got you on this one. It seems like I got you.
Well, because because I want to. I'll be honest with you. I want to say Happy Gilmore just because I've watched it so many times. But I mean, really, I think when it comes down to it, is Tin Cup is probably my favorite golf movie.
There you go. Hey, West Texas. There goes Texas, man. It's a Texas golf. Texas golf right there, dude. That's not how it is. That's not how it is here in San Antonio. We got a lot of green all over the place. It's not like how his range was, but that's a great movie. Favorite character from Tin Cup?
Oh, it's got to be Ken. It's got to be him. It's just the whole 7-iron scene is probably the best scene in golf. I mean, I could say Caddyshack has a lot of good things too, but just how they spun, and even Happy Gilmore, but how they spun the 7-iron scene and the bet and how he won it.
Oh yeah.
I can't say that I seen that coming the very first time that I watched that movie. Not at all.
I like how he's telling his group of friends after the round. Was it the 7-iron on 12, or was it the 7-iron on 15? Or was it this? And he's just like, I was like, yeah, well, no shit, man. You broke all your damn clubs, dude.
Yeah, I really like that movie, and I mean, and then Happy Gilmore, obviously, and then Happy would be, my favorite character out of that too. So, but Tin Cup takes the Tin Cup.
All right, that's what I like to hear. I freaking love that movie. I look at myself as more of like a Romeo character. I'm a small Hispanic guy, so I love Cheech, and I'm like, I love all the Cheech and Chong movies. So, and I love all his anecdotes and all his lines in the movie, and so, so you know what? Like, if I had to relate to like one golf character, I'm Romeo. That's me.
I'd take him as my caddy.
See, he's a good guy. All right. Now, who are you playing your last round of golf with?
Like, I know I'm out the door.
That's right. Like you're kicking the bucket. There ain't no tomorrow. Your last round.
Seve.
Ooh.
You
could have a foursome, so it doesn't have to be just one guy. If it can be just you and Seve, that'd be cool. That's That's probably the most magical shot maker right there.
I just think where a lot of people will say Tiger and even Phil Mickelson, you know, own the wedge game and the short game. If you go back and you really watch Seve and the things that he did, they unbelievable, just unbelievable.
Oh, that guy he was a magician.
He's just something else, and you know, I think I have a little bit of a closer type, you know, connection. You know, obviously his time was short. You know, he was only 54 years old or whatever when he passed away. So, you know, I think he had a lot of, you know, he retired probably because, you know, he knew with everything going on, like 6 years prior to that or whatever. But just, I don't think that guy ever lived long enough to really understand, you know, his legacy, you know?
I totally agree. I love watching the movie that they made about him, Seve. And I love seeing his old highlights. And it's so funny, the highlights that they show of him, he's hitting out of the water. He's hitting that from behind a tree. And I'm just like, damn, this guy can get it up and down from anywhere. I said, man, you know, and he's a Spaniard, you know? And so I can't stand Sergio Garcia.
I don't like him either.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll take Seve all day.
And he's a Callaway guy. And
I know, man. I know.
And I will even be like, you know, he whines and he does the things that he does. I'm like, you know, come on. But with Seve, I think the greatest thing is him taking a putter out of the sand wedge, or out of the sand trap, using a putter out of the sand trap.
Oh man! Again, he's a magician, dude.
He is. There's nothing, you know. And Phil Mickelson, let's give him his credit too, you know. But for me, you know, if I had to pick four, it would be or three others to play with me. It would probably be, you know, Tiger, Phil, and Seve. But if you ask me who my favorite golfer is,
tell me who.
My favorite is Mark Leishman, and that's also
Mark Leishman.
Such a crazy answer.
The Australian, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, he's got a great story. His
story, and with his wife, and being a family man, and there's just something about him that I relate to so much. He's definitely my favorite golfer. And I mean, I root him on like you wouldn't believe. I get mad when he doesn't get enough coverage on a weekend. Oh, I do. And and if you go back to my Twitter, you will see I light up the PGA Tour and I light up the Golf Channel and everything. I'm like, this is a top 10 golfer, or top 15 golfer, I'm sorry, but top 10 in earnings career, and he never he's always, unless he's winning or in contention, he never gets any play. And it bothers me. Sometimes I wish Callaway would step up more for the guy and find a way to, you know, make him more. I mean, they make Phil the face, but I think he deserves his due as well.
I like his game too, and I do love his story. Only almost losing his wife, and I think the child that she was giving birth to at the time, right? And I guess as a father, having two daughters, I know you have two daughters as well, right? And I sympathize with his story a lot, because with my first daughter, you know, I'm an idiot, dude. You know, I'm just a coach. You know, I don't know. I'm not as educated. It took me 7 years to get a 4-year degree. You know, but I had a blast doing it. Don't get me wrong. Hey, met my wife, had a blast doing it. But when my wife was giving birth to our oldest daughter, she had some complications, and
okay.
I did not. You know, I'm not familiar with, you know, medical stuff, and I just know that we couldn't touch my daughter at the beginning, She wasn't crying. My wife, they couldn't stop her hemorrhaging. I, I thought I was going to lose my whole world at that moment. And I said, man, I'm going to lose my daughter. I'm going to lose my wife, everything that I have in this world. And so when I hear Leishman's story at the time, and I know it was like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, right? Something of that nature, or maybe even longer.
Yeah. That's about that timeline. Yeah.
You know what? I knew where he was as a person, where his head was, where his faith was tested. And so, you know what? He's one of the guys that I always root for. And, and I'm sure from your situation and from, your wife's situation, trying to be better for yourselves and ultimately for your kids, you feel for people that have gone through life situations and that have risen above it,
Absolutely. Yep. 100%. There really is, man. There's just something about him that, it's simple, I guess is the word you know what I mean? He's very, very good player, but he's not flashy. And I guess that's what I like about it. That's what I like about him, And maybe he doesn't, maybe he's reserved and doesn't want the limelight like that, But man, he's too good enough to not get his dues, That's just how I feel.
I agree with you, man. He can ball. I saw him play. I was covering the Dell match play last year that Kevin Kisner won, and we were following his group and during a practice round, and we were on the back. I couldn't tell you what hole it was. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was either 15 or 16. It was this huge, long par 5, and he crushed a drive. And it was funny because, he's wearing shorts and, he's a big dude. And so seeing him wear shorts, and you normally don't see these guys wear shorts in practice rounds because, they don't televise the practice rounds. And so I'm looking at him, I said, man, he kind of looks funny seeing those white legs and seeing him in shorts. Well, on this par 5, he goes DOD, he goes driver off deck. He freaking, for his second shot, he pulls that driver out, and he freaking smoked one on his second shot. Right? Like smoked one in practice round. And he freaking smokes it, and it goes and it lands cause they're there in Austin and at Austin Country Club. And it gets just like, it's pin high and over one bunker on the left side. And I'm over here just looking at it like, holy crap. Like this dude hit freaking driver off the deck, second shot. Like he hit it like 3 and change, and I'm just like, I hope he does it. I hope he does it in his match.
Hey, you got to try something new every once in a while, right?
Oh, yeah, you got to. All right, Beyond the Stakes segment right here. What's some negative feedback that you've gotten from any of your YouTube or social media stuff that you put out?
Sure, absolutely. So funny that it be, a lot of my videos get a lot of thumbs up and likes. And majority of my videos, 100% like. Every once in a while I'll get a thumbs down, and it's funny when I get one. But one video that has taken the cake as far as the negativity is an actual, man, the people that are in the review business for whether it be electronics or any type of product, I give them so much praise because it's got to be the hardest thing in the world. You can't please everybody. I did a review on the ShotScope V3, new performance, GPS tracking watch.
I have the 2.
Yeah, the 2 was great. I went from the 2 to the 3, but I tried to give my best and honest, opinion. And in my review, I also give, not knocking the watch, but personal cons, nothing that's the watch. It's more of a personal preference than anything else. Well, I got some guys on there. The one guy's like, in the first 3 minutes of this video, it's nothing but the guy's face, and you never see the watch. What's up with that? But it's the one video, and and there's a slew of other comments like this is not the greatest review. I don't understand what the point that you were trying to make. It's very hard. That doing reviews is a hard business as far as I'm concerned. I give a lot of the YouTube people that are out there that do the reviews a lot of credit. It takes a lot to do. But yeah, that's one video where I did on the ShotScope V3 where it's probably the most negativity that I've gotten on any video that I've got put up.
So tell me, I want the ShotScope V3. I've been impressed, and I love the V2, and I love how it gives you the capability to see, you know, where you went or your putts or this, that, and the other, and it can, you know, track your stats. I love seeing that because when you're on the course, yeah, you want to know how far you hit your drive. You want to know how far your approach shot was, and you want to see all that, or, man, I landed there. That's right. You know, and you can go back and you can kind of backtrack your round, and I love that. Now, I told myself, I said, shoot, I'm in love with the damn V2. I said, I'm going to run this damn thing into the ground before I get the V3. What is the biggest difference between the two? And I guess outside of the size or the smaller, you know, the smaller watch, more screen color, what's the biggest, I guess, feature that or the most positive feature from the 2 to the 3?
So right off the bat, not having with the V2, so the courses don't live on the watch. They don't pull down from the GPS on the fly over the air.
Mm-hmm.
With the new watch, you can go to any course you want and you don't have to set up the watch ahead of time.
Oh, okay, yeah. You don't have to. I like that.
Yeah, to me, that is the greatest thing. They hit the home run with that on that. The other thing that I like, the yardages are much better, and there's a lot of negativity out there for ShotScope, and I feel bad for them because I do think a lot of it is, and I only say this because I've not experienced it, and I don't know. You have the V2, so maybe you can attest to this or not, but I never had rounds where shots were missed. Do you ever get that where you have to go back and fix your shots because shots were missed?
Now, I think if shots were missed, I think if anything, it may have added some shots. And I know there could be some problems here or there with maybe a putt wasn't recorded or you're too close in proximity. They think it's a putt and you're like a chip. And I can see maybe that being an issue. And I guess early on, I was having to go in and edit too many of my rounds. And I haven't had to do that, I guess, like the second year I had it, you know?
I never experienced that. And so it's hard for me to like speak on that because I never had that issue, but it's common. So you can't doubt it that it's not happening to people. But I often wonder if they're wearing it on the wrong hand or what exactly is being done or what they're doing with it. Because the product, I love the product. I love it. The tags on the new ones too are much better, and everything picks up a lot easier. I noticed that I don't have to do, you know, as many, like, I always felt like I had to do like a lot of practice
swings. Yeah.
Because I was afraid that my shot wasn't going to get picked up. No. And just the fluent of the watch. But do you want to know something that to me is the biggest plus on the watch more than anything?
Tell me.
Okay. So the V2, and I thought that they would come out with a software update for this to make it either a 12 or a 24-hour type clock, because obviously the company, you know, is, you know.
Yeah, in UK.
You can't with the V2. So you can wear the new one like a watch. Obviously the battery life and everything has improved.
Oh, damn. That's cool.
But now it's but now you can do a 12 or 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't have to, I mean, and whether you can figure out military time quickly or not, it's just nice to be able to look at the watch and just your mind's programmed on that regular time and it's there, you know? So to me, and it's those little, it's the little things like that. You know what I mean? It's a superior watch. I love it. I swear and stay strong by ShotScope. And the only other thing right now that I can find that is could be a game changer for it is the LX5 by SkyCaddie. Go check that out for anyone that's looking for something that, you know, might, you know, spark their interest as far as a GPS or type watch. That might be a strong competitor to the ShotScope. I will keep my ShotScope, and I use my ShotScope. I don't change. But if someone gave me that LX5 to try out, it just looks nice. Without using it and testing it, you wouldn't know. But I know this is not a plug for for that LX5, but it just looks nice. It looks pretty, but it's got to perform too. And to me, the ShotScope V3, it performs. It's everything that I want in a performance watch. It gives me my statistical data with my rounds. It's been a big part of my game. It's been a big part of my channel too. If you ever notice when you're watching my course vlogs, I have the pictures that show each hole as I go through. That data is pulled directly down from the dashboard of ShotScope. So ShotScope's a big part of my,
I noticed that. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that, and I do, and I love it. But I'm running my 2 into the ground before I get a new one, man. I'll tell you that much. All right, Jess. So why don't you let everybody know what your channel called and how to get at you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 biggest spots you can find me is obviously YouTube. That's where my all my course vlogs. I release content on every Monday and every Thursday. If you just search for The Bogey Smalls, so The Bogey Smalls, you'll find me right there. And then Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, I post a lot of content on there. I interact with people. You got questions, you want, just to chat. You can find me and just The Bogey Smalls, all one word, The Bogey Smalls, on Instagram. And that's where I'm at. Those are the 2 biggest social media platforms that I use. I'm also on Twitter, but you'll find me pretty much, on Instagram and then also my YouTube.
All right, Jess, I had a good time, man. I hope you enjoyed it. It'll be out in a couple of weeks. And, man, I thank you for sharing your story with our listeners. I think they're really going to feel what kind of person you are. And I appreciate what you bring to the game of golf.
I appreciate you, buddy. And I appreciate the relationship. And like I said, the opportunity. It was fun, man. I had a lot of fun, to get together and talk golf, talk anything. So, don't be surprised if I don't hit you up just on, off the podcast just to say, hey, what's up? You know what
man,
I mean?
Of course, man. I'm always available. All right. Hopefully you stay on so I can talk to you just for a little bit longer. But again, Jess, thanks so much. You take care, bro.
You too. I appreciate you, buddy.